Chivalry is not dead. Like, read into people's body language. Yo, look out for that. Sorry, I gotta get up close on that one. You need to ask these things. You need to ask. Every time you enter a new relationship, think of it as like a clean slate. You need to re-ask these same questions. Don't just, because this is how we get to this generalization of all women are the same. No, you don't say thank you. You don't say I appreciate you. All 2025 guys, stop accepting just that answer. We all want to get our money up. Do we not? Do we not? You're moving with this, with your heart, but you're not really also moving with this, the brain. Run. He should only be holding the door for me. You should only be doing this for me. You should only be treating me like that. Oh, who's this? Oh, yeah, that's just my friend Kaya. You're what? Now, this is good. This is good.
All I know is we could go anywhere, we could do anything, girl, whatever the mood.
Hey, guys. I'm so excited to be filming this video right now. I've had a long day. As you can see, we're in a different location. It's giving new location. You don't know where I'll be filming this. As long as you guys are getting the material, I should be able to film this on the beach if I want to, if you ask me. But thank you so much for clicking on this video. Welcome to Keynotes with Kaya podcast. This is basically just a rebrand of the podcast I already started. So no, this is not a new podcast. It's not something different, separated. We just rebranded, and this is my first episode with the new name. So I'm super excited. It kind of rolls off the tongue, right? It's easy to say, Keynotes with Kaya. And it's basically pretty much, I feel like, self-explanatory, you know? I'm going to be going over like the core, like the key things that we need when it comes to these topics, right? So that's what I plan on covering anyway. That's what I was doing anyway. So it just kind of just rolls off the tongue. I took a poll of what are some red flags, and that is within a relationship, a friendship, or even some within yourself that you might like recognize and everything. So I wanted to do this video and I wanted to get it out to you guys actually very soon. I was going to put something else out, but I was like, no, I'm so ecstatic to film this. And you guys were so responsive to the poll that I put. If you would like to be a part of my poll, make sure that you follow me at life.of.kai. And you can have a chance to participate in answering my questions on the polls. I plan on doing a lot of interactive things on that. So make sure that you're following my account. So first, before we get straight into this video, I want to make sure that I let you guys know to hit that subscribe button. Like, come on now. I'm so tired of people watching videos and watching content that they love, watching people that they love, but they don't hit the subscribe button. Commit to this channel. Commit to coming to see me. Commit to want to spend some time, okay, to get some quality time with your girl. Okay, that is my love language. So commit, please. And hit that subscribe button and make sure that you give this video a big thumbs up. I do want to mention that most of the stuff I say and the things that we list will be kind of subjective, but for the most part, I think they're kind of factual. I'm not going to lie. I didn't put any like pet peeves, even though I really wanted to. I didn't put anything that I felt could be like, I mean, depending on what it is, it can be controversial, but I feel like a lot of this stuff is like pretty universal. You should know, like, it's giving flag on the play, you know. But, you know, to each his own. But I highly encourage you guys to avoid these red flags or to run when you see them. Okay? Let's start with my personal opinion of some red flags, guys. And then I will end it with the poll and what you guys have said, because you guys have actually listed a lot of like good red flags. Like, I wasn't expecting that many people to participate, so I appreciate all of you who did participate. And yeah, so my first one, and some of these people, some of the people did say some of mine as well, but I had already wrote these down previously. So if it gets repetitive, it's just because I had already wrote this down as well. So I makes a lot of excuses. Why was I just watching Judge Star Jones on divorce court, and she was just saying that it was a guy, like a male and a female. I don't remember his name. Let's say it was Bob. I don't recall. And Bob was basically like, let's say the girl's name was Katie. Okay. So Katie was saying how, oh, I want to make sure that, I just wanted to take off for New Year's and spend some time like by myself because I hardly get time to myself. And he's like, well, I wanted to go spend time with my boys. And he made those plans after he had already agreed to take care of the kids while she spent New Year's with her girls, or didn't whatever she wanted to do for New Year's that she had already talked to and communicated with him about. So after all that, and then there was other stuff, but basically Judge Star was just saying like, you are, oh no, she said this perfectly. Hold on, I'm about to butcher this. And this, I'm not about to say it verbatim because I can't recall exactly. I just know that quote hit hard, it hit heavy. I think she said, excuses are the tools of incompetence that builds like monuments of like emptiness or of nothingness. That's what it was. That builds monuments of nothingness, and something about seldom you just sit and never ends. And she was going in on him. Like she was just saying like, you make so many excuses for everything. You never stand on business. You're always like making an excuse. And basically I just boil all that down to, sorry guys, I'm at school. Y'all gonna get the outside noises. Look, I feel like it's just realistic. It's school. It's, we're in it, you know what I'm saying? But hopefully you guys can hear me clearly. But yeah, I was just like, that speaks volumes. Like, basically to me, it boils down to accountability. And I plan on talking about that in a whole different episode. So I'm not going to go into that right now. But just know that it was always something else. It was always someone else. It was always, well, the judge is like, well, how do you think that makes her feel? Did you ask how that makes her feel? And it was always, well, how do you think I feel? Can't stand people like that. That wasn't the question. She said, how does it make her feel? Listen to what she's saying. That's active listening. You're supposed to be listening to how that makes your wife, or I think that was his fiance, feel. You're talking about how you feel. We're not on you right now. We're not talking about you at the moment. So someone who makes like a lot of excuses and everything, flag on a flag, hardcore flag. It's giving real life. This is giving real life. For all the extra noises, I'm sorry, it's giving real life. As long as y'all can hear me clearly, like, it's just, y'all know I like to be realistic. I told you guys, this is an authentic experience. I'm not gonna sugarcoat. When I'm in a position where I can just have a nice, quiet building and everything, it's gonna give different vibes, different times, The second one I put was can't hold a job. People with the excuse of, same with that guy, same example, he couldn't hold a job down. He left the job without a second plan, without a backup plan, because he said everyone at his job was getting sick. And the judge is like, everyone was getting sick. Like, this is the pandemic time. Like, everyone was getting sick. Like, what are you talking about? He's like, yeah, but my job had like a higher case of it. And it was just like, okay, but you got kids and everything. You can't just be leaving like up and out of nowhere and expect that your wife and everyone else is gonna carry, your part, carry the burden. Especially if you was covering, let's say, 80% of the bills, of the finances, of the household, and now you're just up and quitting. Where's the thought? There was no thought in that. So someone who like can't hold a job though, like you go from job to job to job to job, and not even on some like I'm moving, because there's certain circumstances where you really can't help it. But then there's the ones where it's like you quit after a couple weeks, or you're like, oh, so and so got me messed up, or you got into a fight. Like there's certain circumstances where it's like, bruh, put your head down and just do your job. Just work. Like what's really happening? I think that is such a red flag. I mean, what are we doing? Like, to me, it's given, do you really want to work? You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's almost like you don't even really want to work. Like, it's just kind of like convenient. Like, I don't know. So someone who can't hold a job when it's just them up and quitting, it's a problem. Like, but they're always getting fired too. That's kind of a problem too. You really need to be looking into that. Don't just overlook that and think that that's normal. Like, let's look into that. Someone who only treats you respectfully or right. So basically, if someone is only doing right by you, meaning that they're being rude to the waitress, right? Not holding the door for others, knowing that there was someone else behind. I can't stand, I know some females might disagree with me on this, and like, that's completely okay. I cannot stand if you're holding the door for me as your woman, okay, period. But you see another person or girl or whomever walking behind, but you close the door. Mainly if it's another girl. Like, why would you do that? That is so rude. I know some girls might be like, but he should only be holding the door for me. He should only be doing this for me. You should only be treating me like that. No, baby, he should be doing that for anyone. If you see someone coming behind you, there's nothing more I hate than someone closing the door in my face. That is so rude to me. It's one thing if you didn't see me, but hold the door. I'm not saying if I'm 100 feet away, you need to be holding the door. But if you see I only got a couple more steps to get there, hold the door. Hold the door. To me, there is no gender or role in holding the door. There is nothing to that. You don't need to hold the door for me just because I'm your girl. Hold the door for me because I was coming in behind you in the first place. Like, for real, for real. I'm going to be completely honest. I cannot stand that. I don't like someone that's rude to other people, someone that only treats their person right there rude to their family. They don't hang around their family like that because of... Now, I'm not saying all families are okay, right? Because there's some interesting family dynamics that be happening. But I'm saying that you're just like disrespectful to a bunch of women in general. But then me as your girl, you want me to sit here and be like, but he'll respect me. You don't respect none of these other women. Like, why do I think you're going to respect me? So it's okay for a guy or your boyfriend or whomever to hold that door for you. Let him hold the door for you and other people. Like, it should not be a problem. He should be helping the old lady with her, get her groceries out the car. You should want people to do this stuff for you. Like, I mean, do stuff for other people because it shows their character. It shows that they're like a decent person, whether you're here or whether I'm not here. You know what I'm saying? Because I can't imagine how you probably act when I'm not around. If you act nice and do all this and do right by me when I'm around, when I'm not around, how do you act? How are you acting when you were single? It makes me question a lot of things about you. The fourth one, which is pretty much, I feel like should be a given, but someone who isn't a protector or chivalrous. I don't think chivalry is not dead, first of all, or maybe it's dying. I'll say that. It might be dying, but I don't think it should be completely dead. I think if you're not chivalrous, you need to get some. I feel like I be acting a little bit more chivalrous than some of these other dudes out here. I'm sorry. Like, I really do. Like, to me, it's just basic manners, but I feel like holding the door now, I'm not really someone that likes for you to open the door to my car, like when it's time to get in, unless we're going on a date. If we're not going on a date, let me open up my own door. I have my own reasons for that, but like, let me open the door. But like certain stuff, it's like you can be chivalrous. And that's the other thing. Just because one person doesn't like that, for example, I don't really like someone opening my car door every single time. That's annoying to me. But that doesn't mean because when you get with me, I don't like it. And so you stop doing it. But when you go to the next girl, you stop doing it in general. Ask her, be like my last girlfriend, or you can just say, hey, do you want the door held open for you every single time you enter the car, or do you not care? You need to ask these things. You need to ask every time you enter a new relationship. Think of it as like a clean slate. You need to re-ask these same questions. Don't just, because this is how we get to this generalization of all women are the same and all women don't like this. Because of the one girl you was with, me, you stopped opening the doors, and then the girl complained about it. You're like, well, why do women do this? Well, you know, that woman, or she was like, she don't even like the doors being open, but then you want the doors to be open. Like, y'all are so indecisive. Y'all are so confused. No, we're not. We're individuals. We have individual things that we like individually. You might get with someone that wants to be told that they're beautiful every single day. I personally don't really want that. Like, I don't need it necessarily. It's fine if you do it, but I don't need it. So I'm like, don't just think it's not a one woman fits all. Like, it's not a one rule fits all. It's not a one size fits all kind of thing. We're all very different, and that's for everyone. You need to be asking. So stop making all these assumptions and just from the last relationship, it was this. So this relationship is going to be that too. No, you need to ask. Now, if you have a partner that gets annoyed that you're asking all these questions, maybe they're not the ones for you, because for me personally, I ask 101 questions about one topic. I can ask you, we can talk for weeks about your past relationships. Try me. I know how to go into some deep dives, but I can't get along with someone who doesn't like deep dive talking. It's just not going to work long term. Someone who lacks gratitude. Oof, I cannot stand an unappreciative person. No, you don't say thank you. You don't say I appreciate you. You don't be like love you. No humility. Like, I cannot stand someone who does not like gratitude. That is such a flag to me. If you don't say thank you, going back to the door example, when someone holds the door for me, I always say thank you. If I hold the door for you, just say thank you. And it's for all of you. If I ever hold the door for you, just say thank you. Just say thank you to anyone, because what I don't like is for when I hold the door and they don't say thank you. I always say you're welcome. I'm like, you're welcome. I definitely could have just been rude and let it close in front of your face, but I'm not that kind of person. Say thank you. Your mama cook you a meal, say thank you. Don't take it for granted and just think like, yeah, you my mom, you supposed to be cooking me meals. No, she not. No, you big. You grown now. Cook your own food. Like, you need to be appreciative. Like, and we need to be appreciative to other people, to our teachers. Like, there's so many things that we overlook and I think we take advantage of, and we don't show enough gratitude towards, and we wait for it to be a big thing, right? You wait till you win like in a big award, and then you're like, oh, I want to give thanks to blah 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 blah. Thank them along the way. Express that gratitude, that, and like along the way, it just makes it so much more rewarding and better. So someone who just lacks the gratitude though in general is just like, ugh, like, are you grateful? Do you even appreciate the stuff that you have? It's giving you probably gonna be a complainer, because you'll never actually learn how to appreciate what you have, and you probably don't even recognize all the good that's happening. So it's giving you might actually be a complainer. So watch out for those, because those are draining. Moving too quickly. Ooh, the amount of people I know that love to swoosh, 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 love to move swiftly. Y'all the Flash for real. Like, y'all really are. First of all, calm down, okay? A lot of you guys are around my age range anyway. Where are you going? Like, why y'all chill out? Like, really. I think a lot of stuff gets overlooked as well when you're moving so swiftly, because you're so, I'm in love, and you're moving with this, with your heart, but you're not really also moving with this, the brain. And y'all can say what you want to say, but logic does need to come into play. I know a lot of people will argue with me and be like, well, Kaya, like, you're thinking too much about it. And I am an overthinker, that I will say, but I also know I'm not just going to go what my heart wants, right? Just like you don't be listening to, your good stuff all the time, right? Because your good stuff might be like, he fine. We might, yeah, we could talk to that right there. But in your brain, that is not a good idea. You know that that's not happening. You know in your heart that you're not really healed from your ex. You still kind of hung up on them. Come on. But that looked like a good time. Or your good stuff telling you it's a good time over there. What you gonna really listen to? Ask yourself that. What would you listen to? What would win? For me, it's always going to be my head. It's always going to be my brain. At the end of the day, I don't really care how my heart or what's happening down there feels. I'm going to be completely honest with you. So, but I do kind of listen to it. But what I also will say and will bring up is that my heart and my head are unaligned a lot of the times. And I brought this up with my therapist, because she was like, your heart and your head are at a disconnect. Like, they don't agree. Because in my heart, I do be feeling bad for people. I do be feeling certain things. But the logic, the logos that come with this, it like overwhelms it tremendously. Like, it's like, yeah, I feel that in my heart, but that doesn't mentally add up. I'm so analytical and practical that it don't make sense. It don't make sense. I don't care what my heart is saying. I'm gonna be honest with you. And so at times like that, it can be hard for me. Someone asks, oh, are you in love, or do you love them? I'm like, do I? Because I have to logically think if I love them. What, girl? That is a feeling. That is not something that's like in your head. But because I feel like when you've been in certain positions before and you have a skewed vision of what love is, you can question if you love someone, which is valid. So I think I was going through that during that time. But now that I know what it does feel like to love someone and to be in love and to be out of love with people, I'm like, oh, yeah, I do or I don't and everything. So I think that if we take our time though, and we're not even gonna talk about like soul ties and like intimacy and all that, because that's a different conversation. But let's just take that portion out. Let's just like, y'all aren't intimate in any kind of way, because that's just awakening a different kind of beast when you do all that. But taking that out, if you're just moving too quickly as far as just like, I love you on the second date. Baby, we've known each other for a month. I'm sorry, y'all. I just don't be believing it. You can call me what you want. I don't be believing that. No, you do not love me in a month. First of all, I'm not even the kind of girl that wants to hang out with you every day. Let me start off with that. Because I can understand 30 days of proximity with someone could make you love them in a way. If we're spending all and every day with someone, I could kind of see that. I can understand it. Baby, I probably see you twice a week. You do not love me from 8 interactions. I'm sorry, you just don't. Like, I have a hard time believing it. But I say all that to say that y'all take your time. Stop rushing so quickly into everything. I promise you that slow growth, like that slow build is so beautiful. And you guys are going to understand each other on a completely different level. You're going to have a deeper appreciation for that person and a deeper understanding and connection with that person when you let stuff slowly build. Take your time. It's not a rush and it's not a race. A lot of people want to make it a race. How many bodies you got? Oh, you didn't do this. Oh, you didn't do that. Oh, you never had a girlfriend or you never had a boyfriend. This is your life. There is no, studies show that you should be, when you're 19 years old, you should at least have been in 3 relationships. That might be the average, possibly, but it doesn't mean that that's like the fact, that that's like the standard, that that's what you need to do. That's the rule. That's something that you need to meet and you're behind. When you take your time, you can appreciate more. You can appreciate a good, nice relationship, and it'll help you find someone, honestly, that's more aligned with you because you're not in a rush to whatever it is, right? To fill that void, like from the love yourself talk, or whether you're just like infatuation. We got to know the difference between this stuff. We got to know the difference between lust and love, guys. We got to know. Let's move on because, ooh, child. Ooh, people who take advantage. Ooh, people who take advantage. Don't ever think just because your significant other hasn't taken advantage of you. Let's talk about fiscally, right? Because if I have a significant other who has taken advantage of their friend, like has used, like basically asked, can I borrow 20? Never pay that friend back 20. Knowing that they borrowed 20. It was just like, but that's my friend. I'll give back to them sometime. I'll give back to them later. I'll give it back. It's nothing. I feel like you're going to get to that point with me. Babe, can I borrow 10 for gas? Yeah, honey. Babe, can I borrow 10 to like grab this, drink or whatever? Grab some snacks. Grab us some food. Yeah, honey. Can I borrow 100 for this flight? Yeah, honey. Can I borrow 500 for a concert ticket? Yeah. Bro, like, are you ever going to pay me back? Or you think because we're in a relationship that you don't need to be paying me back? I definitely think, I'm not even going to get into, like, the court side, like, the legal side of stuff, because the amount of court shows that I be watching, we're not even going to get into that. But someone who takes advantage of their friends and who don't really be caring about, and they're just a friend, you're going to look at me like that. You're my girlfriend, though. Well, I paid you back in other food. I paid you back in intimacy. I paid you back. It's going to always be that. It's always going to be and it's never going to really like amount. I don't think someone who takes advantage of other people, don't think just because you're in a relationship that they won't do it to you too. These people are showing you the colors. How they handle all their other relationships, it's kind of showing you a different piece of them, a different portion of them. It shouldn't be ignored. It shouldn't be something that's like, oh, well, that's just how they are with their mom. They're not going to be like that to me. If they have the capability to do it to their mom, I believe that they have the capability to do it to you. Doesn't mean that they will. It just means that they are capable of it. That's a flag to me, but I think it needs to be addressed. I think you need to like be careful with that one, and it needs to be on was it a gift or was it a loan? Did your friend just say you can have it, don't worry about paying me back? Or are they saying you can have it, don't worry about paying me back, and I got not friends no more? Now they like, give me my money. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's really like define like what really, really happened. Because if you know it was a loan and you're supposed to be paying them back, pay your friend back. Give him the money back. Like, we're not going to do that. It's not cute. And then the last thing I wrote was someone who doesn't love themselves. Check out my Love Yourself podcast. Check out that episode. I really went in on that one. But yeah, someone who doesn't have the self-appreciation for themselves or give themselves self-gratitude, like I like to give myself little rewards throughout the week and everything, throughout certain stuff. Today I did 3 hours of statistics. What am I about to do? I'm about to go home and chill out. No, I have some more homework to do, but I'm about to reward myself by eating this brownie, okay? See, I'd like to give myself little incentives to help me like be like, okay, Kaya, you did this, girl, and now you deserve this. That's how I work. That positive reinforcement works for me. So, but someone who doesn't like love themselves or doesn't give themselves self-appreciation, right? Who maybe, and look in different ways. I also try to get like monthly massages just to give my body back. And I'm also an athlete though, so I know I need to like do that for my body as well. But you have to really show yourself appreciation in these different ways, you know? Like I said, I really don't think people need to be in relationships if they really don't love themselves. I truly do, like deep down. I really think that when you see someone like, and you're like, oh, nice to meet you, blah, 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 and they express that they're single and they put a smile on their face, yo, look out for that. Sorry, I gotta get up close on that one. Look out for that. Look for the people who you say, oh, are you single in a relationship? If they say, oh, I'm single, and they're smiling, that might be a good sign. They might enjoy being single. They might not want to be in a relationship right now. I think they might be chilling. Oh, I'm single. Yikes. I'm in a relationship. Yeah, I have a boyfriend. I have a girlfriend. Okay. Period. Hope y'all happy. Hope your relationship is good. Yeah, I'm taken. I'm in a relationship. What I will say though is some people, like if you get the creeps that come up to you and you like, oh, I have a boyfriend. I understand that because you're just trying to get them to just move on, push on, right? I do understand that. But when you're just on a one-on-one talking to a friend or talking to someone you just met and it's like a public open space like school or something like that, and the tone is kind of tells a lot. Like, are you happy though to be single, to be in a relationship? Let's look out. Just be on the lookout, guys, because people's tones and their body language, like read into people's body language. I think I read a little bit maybe too heavily into people's body language where they be like, girl, I'm not even doing all that. Like, look, the body don't lie. Okay, guys, editing Kaya here. I just wanted to put in actually one more that I thought was kind of important that I had forgot to cover. I wanted to say doing tit for tat is a red flag. It's so like, and tit for tat meaning like basically like someone doing something just because like either they're doing it only because they want something in return, right? So then there's people like that where it's like, okay, like I'll give you a massage if you give me one. Oh, I'll like make you food if you like make me some food tomorrow. Just make the food because you want to make the food or because I asked you and you don't mind doing stuff for me. Your partner or whoever you're dating or even your friend, like they should kind of just want to do that and be like okay with that. It shouldn't necessarily have to be like we have to come up to a agreement. You know what I'm saying? Where we're like having to create like a deal or something, especially with your partner. I can understand a little bit more with friends. I think with my friends sometimes I'm like, oh girl, I'll pick you up if you can like, you know, buy my food or you can like do blah blah blah, like we'll like compromise and everything. But if your partner is like on that little bit of the petty stuff where it's like, well, last time I massaged you for 10 minutes and this time you only did me for 5. That's what I'm talking about. That little tit for tat, that minuscule, really like making a big deal out of stuff that shouldn't be a big deal. It shouldn't really matter how long I massage you. Or if you're like, can you do a little bit longer this time? Or, you know, can you really like, you know, really get into my shoulder a little bit more? Okay. But don't sit here and try to be like, you're timing it. Now I'm not doing enough for you. That tit for tat is not cute. You cheated on me, so I'm going to cheat on you. Like, just anything where it's like, if you did this, I'm going to do this in retaliation is not good. Or anything where it's like, that's not fair. Or I only did this to basically get something from you. Like, that's kind of what it's giving. You should just want to do it and be okay with it because you're my partner and I love you and I'm okay with doing this. And it shouldn't be well, I'm doing this because I'm expecting something in return. You shouldn't really be expecting something in return. If you get something in return, fantastic, but that's not what should be the underlying reasoning behind it. That shouldn't be what motivated you in doing that. So I hope that makes sense. Okay, guys, now I'm about to start reading off what you guys had said. And you guys had actually listed some good ones. I put all of them on here, so no one's answer got disregarded, okay? The first one is someone who has poor hygiene. Tell me why. I was listening to, I'm going to mention this podcast as a K-Buzz for another video, so stay tuned for that. But basically, they was saying that they didn't get a second, they show the statistics that people didn't go on a second date. Like, most people said it was because they smell bad. They stunk. Baby, I'm telling you, I love someone who smells yummy. The scrumps, y'all. Someone who just smells delectable. You don't even got, that's a sad thing. It's like, it can kind of like, I'm not gonna say it makes up for your looks sometimes, but I will say if you not the cutest to me though, but you smell good, I might give you a little bit time of day. I might give you some time of day because your aroma made me more attracted to you. And that's kind of how that works with like, like pheromones and all that stuff. But like, I'm just saying, someone who has someone who don't brush their teeth, don't like taking showers, someone who don't like just smelling good, being fresh and everything, like stay away because they don't care about themselves. They don't care how they appear. They don't care about their appearance, how other people perceive them. I'm not saying that you need to always care about how other people perceive you. I'm saying that you need to be conscious of if you smelling bad, because why you want to walk around stinking and have everyone else like struggling, like being like suffering from that. It's one thing if you don't know, and it's one thing if you don't have the resources to have better hygiene. That is a totally different topic. That's totally different thing. But someone who just chooses to have poor hygiene and just chooses not to wake up and brush that mouth or not put on some deodorant, come on. Not being open about your intentions with the other partner. Now, this is good. This is good because I have talked to people who basically will tell me one thing and will do a totally another thing. Or they'll tell me one thing and tell someone else another thing. Why are you being two-faced? Just say what it is. And I would always be like, just say it. Just say what it is. Just say what it is. Just say what it is. And they'll still run with that lie. They'll still run with, yeah, my intentions are this. My intentions are that. The amount of times I've asked a boy, because I'm that girl, y'all. I'm sorry. I've become more bold over the years. I know a boy don't like approaching me. As a stranger, I know. I feel bad for you. Because I'm that girl to be like, oh, what made you want to come over here and talk to me? What made you think that I felt like having a conversation? What made you like, yeah, I'm that person. I'm kind of testy in that way. And so I'm just curious if they're going to like, shut down. I'm curious if they're going to be like, oh, because I found you attractive and wanted to see how you were doing. Or, oh, my bad. Like, I'm highly curious in how you react to that. And I'm like, I don't mind. I'm probably not even interested in the first place. So I'm probably just going to deny you anyway. But I just like to kind of gather data a little bit, just see where your head was at, right? Before, maybe afterwards. And so when I be like, oh, like, what were your intentions? Like, I'm just highly curious. And some of them get choked up from words. Some other people, I've talked to people and they're like, I really just want to do and be out. And I'm like, okay, I appreciate the honesty. I'm not here for that, but I do appreciate you being honest and everything, right? It be the people that say that stuff, but then be like, well, when you deny and they be like, well, actually, like, maybe we could be a little bit more, or actually, you know what I'm saying? Like, we could go on a date. What? You just say you just wanted to hit and quit and now you want to go on a date. That's not how that works. You just didn't like the answer I gave you. And now you're not going to get me. And now you trying to like, I don't even know, you just lying. Cause it's like, you're not even trying to like meet me at my standard or like what I want. You're not even trying to meet me. You're just lying. You're just capping so you can get still what you want. I'm like, if I told you I would never do that, I bet you wouldn't offer me I bet you wouldn't be like, yeah, let's go on a date. If I was like, no, we'll never do that, you probably won't keep pursuing. Just communicate. And every time your intentions kind of change, communicate it. Where your new intentions are. Stop playing these people, guys. And people who are trying to play you and their intentions jump around, they don't know. They don't know. If the person is talking nasty about their exes, clock this one. It's one thing if you ask, how was your ex? How was your past relationship? Da. But someone who just sits there and dog out their exes all the time. There was a time where I feel like a lot of people, okay, I'm the kind of person where I think people enjoy trying to get under my skin. And I feel like people will say certain stuff to try to get under my skin or do certain things or try to put certain things in my head. And I'm like, I don't know why you're doing that. Like, I don't understand that. But if I tell you that I don't care about someone no more, or if I tell you that they can go ahead and do them, like, that's completely fine. Take my word for it and leave me alone with it. Honestly, like, I don't want to sit there and bash the person. But if someone asks me about the situation, like, what happened with so-and-so? Oh, well, why aren't you and so-and-so together? Why aren't you and so-and-so friends anymore? I'm going to tell you the real. You ask me about it, I'm going to tell you the real. So that's not like unsolicited. But if you're just always talking bad about your exes, always, like, if anything, I will talk good and bad. I talk about the real. How about that? I talk about the stuff that really happened. So if it relates to something else, I might be like, oh yeah, my ex had took me to this restaurant one time, or I went here with him one time. Or if I'm like, oh yeah, I remember when he did that and I could not stand that about him, like that he did stuff like that. It's like, okay, that's not me just like always talking bad about my exes, always, like, that is so draining. Don't nobody want to hear you keep talking bad about the people in your past. Can't communicate well. I feel like it's a whole different topic, so I don't even want to like get too deep into that. I'm just gonna say, like, that's my number one pet peeve when it comes to being in a relationship. I'm just sick of people who are bad at communicating, and that's a good amount of people. Like, I'm just tired of it. I just don't feel like teaching you how to communicate. That's the other thing, right? Some people, you get into relationships and you don't mind teaching them or helping them or assisting them in certain stuff. Like in my other podcast, I said you might have to teach them how to love you, and I think that is fine and that is fair if you are okay with that and if you're patient with that. I don't want to be in a relationship where I have to teach you how to communicate. I'm done. I don't want to do it anymore. I'm sick of it. Come with that skill. I'm sorry. You just have to come with it for me, personally. And a lot of people really don't. And that's unfortunate. But that's something that I will, try to like advocate and say, like, yeah. And a lot of people think they can communicate well. That's the other thing. A lot of people, you ask them, oh, are you a good communicator? Yeah, I'm fantastic. Projection. They hate on everything you doing, but ain't got nothing going for them. No ambitions. It's giving bum. But they're hating on you, though. They're hating on everything you doing. You over here being a scholar. I'm over here doing my podcast and, trying to, like, share information and, like, just create timeless content for you guys. And you over here hating on me. But you ain't doing nothing. You sitting at home munching on chips. But you hating on my craft. They're hating on the stuff that I'm doing. Why are you projecting that? That is so ugly. That's so ugly in so many aspects, though. When they start to hate you out of nowhere. When they start to hate you out of nowhere, they out of money. Okay, what I take from that, he might have did a typo. I don't know. But yeah, when people or when someone just starts to randomly hate you, like, one thing I don't like, though? I would never sit here and cap and say, like, oh, all my exes are unattractive. They're so ugly. They're like the dirty down lowest. They're the worst. Like, bruh, but you dated them. So stop. They wasn't ugly when you met them. They face ain't changed. It's like, stop. Stop doing that, guys. Stop calling your exes ugly and all this stuff just because you're not with them no more or because they hurt you or you hurt them. Whatever. Stop it. You'll never hear that come out my mouth. I will never say that because it's not true or else I wouldn't have been with you. How does that make me look? Plus, I don't want you going around saying that I'm ugly and stuff because you're not with me on that hater stuff. That's giving hater. I really don't like using the term hater all the time for multitude of reasons, but that's giving hater because that's not even true. You just chatting at that point because you're hurt. It's giving you're hurt. But somewhere they just start randomly hating you, like even friends, guys, because once again, this can tie into your friend too. This isn't just for relationships. There was one person one time and they were so sweet and kind to me at first, and then out of nowhere, it was like, I think some stuff had transpired, but it was stuff that was out of one I didn't know of. So like it was stuff that was unbeknownst to me. And then like they just started kind of just hating on me. And I'm like, what? And the reason why they was hating on me was so stupid. I'm not even going to get into that. But it's so dumb to me and it's so shallow. And I'm just like, okay, you can stay your shallow self right down the shallow in the pool. I don't have time for that. We keep that where it is and we push on. But yeah, it's just given, that was a flag as like, I wouldn't even want you to have been my friend anyway. Because that is so weird. Lack of texting. The excuse of I don't be on my phone like that. Y'all, I can't stop. You be on that phone. Now you be texting. Now if your boy call, you would pick that phone right up. Yo, what's up? Oh, what's the move? I'm so sick of that. If you was about to get free money, if someone was like, I'm going to call you in the next 10 minutes for you to win $1 million, you're going to pick up that phone in the next 10 minutes. So please, let's stop with the oh, I was busy, I couldn't get back to you. Someone who wants to reach back out to you will reach back out to you. Someone who's interested in you and wants to actually build, they're gonna make the time. They're not gonna use the excuses. They're gonna prioritize you. They're gonna make the time. If they really don't have, they really don't have the time, they really shouldn't be trying to pursue a relationship at this moment, because you don't even have the time to put into the relationship to give it the nutrients that it needs in order to flourish. They can't text you, be like, stop. Either you can stop texting them or be like, yeah, I'm too busy too. That's it. We don't really need to talk anymore. There's nothing else that needs to be said, because you're too busy for me, which means I'm too busy for you too. Like, I'm gonna be honest with you, because if you think I have time to sit there and manage and be like, when is he gonna text me back? Well, when is he gonna text me back? Yeah, just that excuse. Like, if you don't have the time for me, that's fine, period. But like, just stop wasting my time. You know what I'm saying? Because if you can't get back to me, or someone may prefer phone calls and everything, like, that's completely fine. Just be like, call me. But don't just sit there and like not text and be like, oh, like I was a bit, never makes time. Here we go. That literally connects to that. Someone who just, you don't make time to see me. You make time for everything else that you want to do, but you don't make time to see me. And especially someone who like has the time. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to like diminish anyone and what they're doing, but for someone who like just works part-time and that's it, you have time for other people. You have time to do other things. Now, when you have a buttload of stuff going on, like I'll just use my life for example. If you're a full-time, you work full-time, you're a part-time student, you do content creation, and you do everything for your content and everything, that can take up a lot of time. Y'all had no idea how long it takes for me to sit here, film a video, and then sit there and edit a video, and then it's a whole process, right? So, and it takes a lot of my time. Like, that's literally been my past 2 weeks. That's all I've been doing. I haven't even really had time to, like, actually enjoy life. I have to create time, because there's also homework on top of that. It's not just like you go to class, that's it. You're going to homework, right? I work a 8-hour day, so everything ties into each other, while trying to make sure I get at least decent rest, because let's be realistic, going off for 3 hours of sleep, it's not going to suffice for a long period of time. So someone needs to make time in order for you, or they just need to respect that you can't handle a relationship. I feel like there's certain people who can make time. My friend I used to always tell her, like, I didn't have time for a relationship. She was like, yes, you do. You just need to make the time, Kaya. You do have the time for a relationship. And she was right. I wasn't mentally there. I didn't really want to, but I did have the time. Never takes responsibility for one's actions and blames everyone else. Goes back to the accountability. It's everybody else's fault but yours. Everyone else's. You can never be like, that's on me. That's on me. I think I had the opposite problem. I think I put everything on me. That's my thing. That's my problem, actually. I beat myself up over stuff that's really not even my fault. And I don't know what that's called. If you know what that's called, let me know. Comment it down below. But sometimes I feel like, I don't say I gaslight myself, but like in other ways, I just be like, I'll just take the blame. I'll go attribute, because it just makes things, I think, more peaceful. And I just don't mind being that person that's like, I'll take the landing for it. And maybe it partially was my fault. If I get in trouble or something like that, like I'm very quick to be like, no, I did that. That's on me. And just take the heat. Just take the heat. So because I'm someone that's wired that way, imagine me being with someone that's not wired that way. That is irksome. That is like, I cannot stand that. Definitely a red flag. Someone who just doesn't hold himself accountable, it's always someone else's fault. It's never yours. Like, ugh. When are you gonna like take responsibility for your life? It's basically they don't want to take responsibility. They want to avoid taking responsibility for stuff, so they blame other people. But when are you gonna take responsibility for you? Anyone who lies about anything, that's just like goofy. Like, what are we doing? Why are you even lying in the first place? I knew this. Actually, I feel like I know a couple pathological liars, but there was one person who was really a pathological liar for no reason. I guess maybe just to gain friends. But babe, you didn't need to do all that and lie to us to be friends with you. I'm gonna be friends with you for the real you, or I'm not, because I don't like you. It's one or the other. But you can't sit here and try to you're just making a bunch of lies, and your lies start like tying into each other. Then it's just a snowball effect. It's gonna like fall out. It's not gonna work long term. Someone inconsiderate. Consider your partner. I feel like some of this stuff is like, I shouldn't even have to really speak on it. Like, I feel like some of this stuff is like, we should know. Y'all know that this is a flag. If y'all see someone's being inconsiderate, no clear goals or ambitions, that's not even attractive. I don't even know how people get with people who are like, if you ask, oh, what's your like short-term goals or long-term goals, or what's your goal for this year, right? Like, what do you want to just achieve this year? What do you want to achieve this month? And they're like, oh, I don't really know. Or, oh, like, I want to, get my money up. Baby, we all want to get our money up. I'm sorry, that's such a basic answer. All 2025 guys, stop accepting just that answer. We all want to get our money up. Do we not? Okay, say something else other than getting your money up. Oh, I would like for my channel to reach X amount of subscribers. Oh, I would like to pass my classes with a 3.8 GPA to go into, my fall year at a university. These are goals. This is like, okay, this is individual goals. Don't nobody want to hear about what most people want to do. And just make sure that they're clear, that you have like an outline, not just something you saying off the dome of your head. I should ask you tomorrow. You should have like very similar answers. Might not be verbatim, but your answers should be pretty similar because that's your goal. Lies easily. Yeah. I mean, look, we can tell that people really seeing that as a flag. But lying easily is kind of insane though. Like, you can look someone dead in their eye and lie to their face. That's kind of scary. Is that not scary? I'm scared of people like that. Like, you can look me dead in my eye and lie and feel good about it. You can go to bed like that. Run. The last one that was on here was treating your partner like a friend when you're with your friends. Oh, who's this? Oh, yeah, that's just my friend Kaya. Your what? Your friend? Yeah. Someone gave my car keys. Stand right here. Stand right there. Don't move. Your friend is insane. It's insane. First of all, I can't stand being in an area where someone doesn't even introduce me anyway to your friends. I'm totally fine talking for myself. But most likely, if we go around my family, I'm going to introduce you. So it needs to be vice versa. It needs to be like the same thing. This is my friend. Oh, who's this? Oh, that's Kaya. We don't know who Kaya is. Say who Kaya is. Oh, it's my girl. It's my girl. That's my girlfriend. That's my woman. That's my wife. That's my fiance. Like, stand on business. Like, what are you talking about? You're obviously either embarrassing me or ashamed of me, or maybe you're not supposed to be having a girlfriend. Something's going on or maybe you just got out of something. Now your family's like, your girlfriend. Like, what's really happening? Because why are you just calling me a friend when we are not just friends? If you want to be just friends, we can be just friends. For me, if you're going to call me a friend, be prepared for you to lose me. That will be the last time you call me a friend. Remember that. Don't say that. Like, that is just so unattractive. Like, why would you want to... that's such a... this is my friend. I would literally gasp. I'd be like, I would embarrass you. I need to get out of that, y'all. That's one of my... I definitely think that's a toxic trait of mine. Is me embarrassing people. Like, I will embarrass you. Like... Don't do that. Don't try to embarrass me and show that you're ashamed of me, knowing the value that I bring to the table, and you calling me just a friend. Okay, editing Kaya here, back again at 12:13 a.m. But I forgot to add in my K-Buzz for the week, so I just want to quickly add that in. Thank you guys so much for, first of all, watching all the way up to this point. I greatly appreciate you. So my K-Buzz for the week is Stefan Speaks. He is a relationship or a love expert, I believe, slash like a relationship coach, but he has a YouTube channel and it's called Stefan Speaks. And I actually have listened to a lot of his different like videos and everything, and he talks about men and women. He talks about like masculinity, femininity, different stuff like that, but he mainly talks about like 14 ways how to get a man to fall for you, or why he decided that he needed to leave the relationship, or how to attract women. Like, he talks about a lot of stuff like that. Talks about red flags, right? Like, he covers a lot of good stuff on his channel, so make sure that you guys check that out if you want to just learn more about, like, I guess the love side of stuff, and more so about like understanding maybe like one side, like one gender versus the other. I think it's really good for that kind of stuff as well. So that's it. On that note, guys, Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of us just listing some red flags. And this obviously did not cover all of them, but this covered like I think a good amount of them. And I got to see like what a lot of you guys look at as like red flags, and which I agree with every single last one of them. So let me know your thoughts. And of course, like if you guys want a part 2 of this, I can definitely part 2 this. But yeah, that's basically it that I have for today. Make sure if you guys enjoy this video that you hit the subscribe button. If you're already subscribed, there's plenty of other ways you can help this channel and help me grow. You can leave a big thumbs up. You can share this with a friend and repost it, and you can tag me, or watching my videos all the way through to the end is also helpful. So I just ask that you do what you can. I appreciate you guys so much. And thanks for listening to my first official episode of Keynotes with Kaya. And I will see you guys in my next one.